Hello everyone, today we will explain a lot of stuff within game hacking and C++. I'm currently sick, so my voice might be a bit off, but this is the second part of our game hacking series. And today we will explain what memory addresses, pointers, pointer chains, and offsets is. And finally, at the end, my friend is gonna show you how to find pointers with the pointer scan function in Cheat Engine. First, let's talk about memory. Think of your computer's memory like a giant shelf with a bunch of boxes. Each box has a label, which is the address, and it has something inside it, which is the value. For example, in a game, one box might store your health, and another might store your ammo, and so on. Now, there are two types of memory. There's static memory, and there's dynamic memory. So, simply put, static memory doesn't change, and dynamic memory always changes. We will get back to that later. Okay, so what's a pointer? A pointer is basically like a note that says the thing you're looking for is in this box over here. In C++, a pointer is just a variable that stores the address of another variable. Now this might sound complicated, but I'll try to make you understand. Here we can see a visual representation. We can see that we've set the health address to be 0x6969, and that's basically storing the health address. And then we have the health value set to 100, and then you can see we have at the bottom there a pointer to health, which holds the health address. The value that this pointer has is the health address itself. Now, what is a pointer chain? A pointer chain is, like we can see this image, basically a pointer that points to pointer, that points to pointer, that points to pointer, that points to pointer, that eventually points to an address. So it's basically just a normal pointer, but instead it points to another pointer. And this can be very long or it can be very short. Okay, what is pointer scanning? Pointer scanning is basically a tool in Cheat Engine which scans for the pointer that points to a certain address. My friend will now show you an example of pointer scanning in Cheat Engine using a salt cube.
Hello guys, I'm his friend, and now I'm gonna show you how to pointer scan and find the address and the pointers with Cheat Engine. So first you have to download Cheat Engine from the link in the description, and then you have to open it. Click this button right here and attach the process you want. I'm gonna be using Counter-Strike. Alright, now you wanna find the health address. And as you can see, the value of the health is 84. That's why you have to go in here and you have to type in 84 to value. Make sure this is exact value. Right, first scan. Now, as you can see, it found 103,000 different addresses. You can see some of these addresses are actually green. Now the difference between green and white addresses is, as I stated before, the green addresses are static addresses and the white addresses are dynamic addresses. This means that every time you restart the game, these addresses are going to stay the same, while these white ones are going to change. So the health address is going to be a dynamic address, meaning it's going to change. And that's why we need to find the pointer. So let's start by finding the actual address. As you can see, 68 health. Now you can see it found 13 different addresses. Let's try to narrow them. Alright guys, I think I found the correct address because it changed a bunch of the other ones to the same value. Now, as you can see, it did change to 100. Let's just double check this. This is in fact the correct address. So let's remove these existing ones I had from previous attempt, and let's double click this address. It's gonna bring it down here, and you can set a name to the address. Name it first health address. Press OK. So now you got your first address. Well, the only issue here is that it is dynamic, so every time you open the game, it's going to change the value. That's why I need to do something called pointer scanning. Right click the address and select pointer scan for this address. You can click max level and change it from, I think the default is 7 to 4. It needs to be 4. Press OK and save it in a new folder called pointer scan, and save it as the file name 1. Wait for the pointer scanning to finish. Alright, so as you can see, the pointer scan is done, and it did find 429 different pointer paths. Now this is way too much. That's why we need to narrow down the results by comparing it to another scan. So don't close out of this window yet, but what you have to do is close the game. I'll be back when I've done that. Alright guys, I'm back. So now we'll load up the game for the second time. Let's check our cheat engine. Start by moving this window to the side and clicking this button. Select Counter-Strike and attach the process again. Make sure to click yes on this. Now as you can see the previous address, you can see the value, this question mark. As I said, it's a dynamic address, so that has now changed. For that reason, we need to find the new health address. So, you can see I have 100 health. Let's do the scan I just started 2 minutes ago again. Alright guys, I found the new health address. So, I'm gonna double click this and name it second health address. Now, what we're gonna wanna do is create a second pointer scan for this address. So, you wanna copy this address, you're gonna go back to this window, click this pointer scan button, and click rescan memory. You want to paste in the address and press OK. Now name this 2. Alright, now that the scan is done, it's narrowed down to only 147 results. Now on the side here you can see server and Tero or whatever it's called. You want to find the server ones. So what you want to do is you want to double click about 20 of these. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna alright, so now I've clicked about 40 of these actually, not 20. But now what we want to do is close CSGO, and we want to see if this pointer still points to the correct address. So you want to close it once again. Alright guys, I'm back into CSGO, and we can now check if these pointers are in fact pointing to the correct address. Attach the process once again, click yes. As you can see, most of these do point to the correct value. We can see that most of these addresses do work, but some of them has like a question mark. So we'll remove all of them except for one address. Remove the first and second address as well. Now we got our pointer. Health. So that's how you pointer scan in Cheat Engine. I'll let you get back to the video.